Sophia the Shadow Hunter, and today I'm doing my November wrap-up for 2019. Please let me know in the comments down below what you guys what you guys read, and what you thought about in the comments down below, so let's get started. So, one of the first books I read, actually this probably was the first book I read in November, was The Journalized Life, Death, and Beyond by Phil Collins with Chris Epting. I really enjoyed this book. As you guys know, I love music, and sorry about that, I got a phone call. So I was talking about, first book I read was The Journalized by Phil Collins, and I really enjoyed this book. This was so interesting and entertaining. I loved all the musical facts on it, and about his life and his upbringing, about Def Leppard and all the changes Def Leppard have went through and how they evolved around it. It was very interesting. If you guys are interested in those, I highly recommend that you pick this up. Right. And the last book I read, I finished in November, was Black Dove, White Raven by Elizabeth Lyon. I also really enjoyed this book. She's one of my favorite authors, and I thought this book was going to be that World War II book. It wasn't, but it still she had amazing characters in it. Their life stories being combined, the friendships, how the friendships were like family, how they were family, how they looked out for each other. It was just an amazing, heart-gripping story, and this is a great book. Great. Next, I read Castles Burning by Magna David Shaw's Life in War. I also really enjoyed this book. This is a story written by a little girl. Her name's Magda, and she was a Jewish growing up during the Holocaust in World War II. And I believe it was in Hungary. Yes, they're Hungarian. And how she survived, how their family immigrated out of Europe to America to keep themselves alive, and how her being like the youngest in the family, and how people acted around her, and how she reacted to all around. It was very interesting and entertaining, and it was definitely hard to put down. I think she has a great writing style, and it obviously was very intriguing to me, and it was a great book. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. And actually, this was, I apologize, this was the last book I read actually in the month of November, was Anne Frank's Die, the graphic adaptation adapted by Ari Fullman, and illustrations by David Polonsky. I really enjoyed this book. I got through it very quickly. I loved seeing the pictures. I liked some of there was a lot of funny things, silly things in it to kind of lighten up the mood, which obviously you need when you're reading like The Diary of Anne Frank, although it's one of my favorite stories ever probably, and I really liked it. My only criticism of this book is that they left out a lot of her diary. And I know it's an adaptation of it, but I wish it would have been longer because I feel like there's a lot of important things they left out. But if you guys have read this book, please let me know in your comments down below. So this book that I should have finished in November, but I did not finish it till yesterday, was Everyday's Extra by John Carey. I also really enjoyed this book. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. This book also came out about a year and a half ago, and I finally just got my hands on it. It was great. This is about John Carey, who was a Vietnam veteran. He served as a United States Senator, and he also ran for president. However, he did not win. And about his lifestyle and growing up, and all of his children, his family members, his marriages, working with the government to help, make things a better place. But I really wish this title would have implemented more into the book. I felt like he slightly touched on at the beginning of the book. However, I think it's a great title. And it was a very interesting book. If you guys have read this, please let me know in the comments down below. So the idea is every day is extra, because he more than likely should have not, or would have not survived the war, but he did. And so because he survived, he's going to look at every day as being extra. And I think that is true. We need to, no matter what we're going through, no matter how hard life is, we need to realize that every day is extra, that it is a gift from God, and even though things aren't going the way we want them, that we are still blessed to be alive, to have breath in our lungs, to have a family, and a place to live, and the food to eat. And because of that, every day is extra, and every day should be viewed as a blessing, and we need to, you know, treat people with kindness and love and respect, and work hard to promote the things that we think are important and are important to us. So I hope you guys like this video. I know this video is kind of short. I should have read a lot more this last month than I did, so hopefully I can make it up this month. Please let me know in the comments down below what you think about this video, what books you have read, and if you haven't, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time in another video. Goodbye!